Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I don't do these often because I always want to make sure when I do a collab video and I'm reviewing a product that I'm collabing with a manufacturer of a product, that is something I'm going to use for the creation of content, not just for my YouTube channel, but for my photography. And I don't want to just bring any product to the channel and just review it knowing I'm never going to use it. So with that, I say Zhiyun, I believe is Zhiyun, reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to do a review on one of their lights. And I looked at the lights that they provided and I did my research on it, and I went back to them and said yes, because I felt that it would be something I would definitely be able to use. Now, I will say, full disclosure, they told me if I review the light, I get to keep the light after the review. And that is the only thing that is transacting between us. There is no exchange of money or anything like that. And they do not get to tell me what I can and cannot say about the product, negative or positive, as I went through playing around with the Fiveray M20C. And this is an RGB light, 20-watt light. This one is the fill light combo. So the fill light combo comes with the bond doors, it comes with a diffuser, and it comes with a grid, all using magnets to attach to the light itself. And I'll bring the light up and be able to stack on each other, and you can use however you want to use them, whether you just want to use the bond door, whether you just want to use the grid or diffuser, and they're all nicely connected to this cage here, which, and there you go, there's Zhiyun or Zhiyun. They're connected to the cage in the back right here by this bracket. It houses the whole light inside of it. This little screw right here is what you push up on, and as you see, it releases. Again, this door has magnets in it, so you can slap this up against things and get yourself different angles of light coming at you. But here's the light itself, and this is a pocketable RGB light. It goes from 2500 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin, and it is pretty much all plastic from what I can see. Has a fan system in it to help with cooling, and it has a number of features in it. As I went through looking at the features of the light, it's what caught my eye and made me want to go ahead and get this product, check it out, and then provide this review for you guys. As a person that does content creation, you know, I light up my scenes in various locations, but none of my lights really are that easily transportable. And again, that's why I wanted to get my hands on this and see what I can do with this. I went ahead and took this light outdoors and decided to see what it could do lighting me up under a picnic shed in a park. And then I also decided that what else would I do? Well, you know, I also go in the studio from time to time, so I took this in to see how I can play with it in creating some images and some video using this light in studio. So as you can see, you know, it's a very small light. Now, one of the concerns I always have when it comes to lights like this, and I have Aperture MC lights, is that they get hot. But the Aperture MCs, they just have vents on them. There's no fan, I believe. And this one with the fan, I'm pretty interested in how it will cool itself down, how hot this will actually get. And in my experience with it so far, it never really overheated at all. The fan did come on. And when I was in the studio, you know, I wanted to hear how loud the fan was. So I'll play this audio here, this snippet of B-roll, so you can see how loud the fan is. So I was just as surprised as you guys. There is some noise, but it wasn't as loud as I expected it to be. And it definitely, I didn't feel it interfered with my audio. But that is something that you're going to need to be aware of when it comes to any fan really on a light source, is how loud it's going to be. So that's something you'll have to work, you know, think about. Now, when it comes to power, at 100% of the dimness, so that's the intensity of this light, Zhiyun, if I'm saying that right, again, I say Zhiyun, but I think it's Zhiyun. They have on their website that at 20% watt full power, 100% dimmed, you'll get 40 minutes of operation time. At 10 watts when you bump the dim percentage down, you will get about an hour and a half. And then when you're at 5 watts, you will get 5 hours. Now, from the playing around I did with this today, outside, inside, I probably burned about maybe 40% of the battery on this thing. And that's because I shot between 25 to 50%. I wanted to shoot it at 100%, but just it was too bright. It wasn't all the light I needed. And I felt that shooting between 25 to 50% satisfied my needs at the time. Now, I will have to take note of that as I go forward and look for powering opportunities. Now, this has pass-through power up here, and it will let you plug in power and utilize it at the same time. And, you know, I can honestly say, like most of the stuff that we plug in with USB-C, make sure you have a cord and a power brick, or if you're going to use a power bank, that it supplies the right amount of wattage to this so you can get the most wattage power you can get out of it. I have various cords, and I've seen it go from anywhere on the back LCD screen here. And let's do a long press, short press, and a long press to turn it on so you can see that. You know, let's tap once, and you can tap once on the volume or intensity knob here, and that'll cycle through from 0 to 50% to 100%, which I think is cool. But on the power button and menu button there, you can cycle through all the different features. As I turn this on and go through it, you know, you can clearly see that LCD screen at the top. You were able to see what the power wattage was as I plugged in USB-Cs. And I saw the difference between the different USB-C cords. So again, something to consider. As a creator though, and as I show snippets of me utilizing this light out in the open, I wanted to try to see how I would use it. Like you guys know, when I do my open boxes, I don't do them traditional open boxes. I take the unit out with me, and I will definitely go ahead and run it through its paces for what I intend to do with it. And I have to say, I'm pretty happy with what I was able to do so far with this light. I'm pretty happy with the fill combo, fill light combo with all of the accessories you get. The magnets, look at that, guys. You see how hard I had to pull that apart? Are fantastic. I like that the cage itself has 3 cold shoes, and it has a light stand mount right there, so that it gives me variety on how I can use this and so forth. Now, one of the things I did play with a little bit was the app, which is the Vera app, the ZY Vera app. I went in and was able to set this thing up with no problem real quickly. I made sure that Bluetooth was on yes for this. I reset it, and then bam, it saw this connected real quick. And then I was able to play with the CCT settings. I was able to switch to the HSI settings and play with those. And then at the same time, you know, I was able to play with some gel effects. The one thing I was not able to play with, and I didn't see it anywhere on the app, I don't know if this is something that would be an update for the app, or if it's just a feature that maybe you can't use the app for, which is the effects. So it would have been nice to have been able to turn the effects on using the app. Again, if I missed that, somebody let me know in the comments if you've used this light. But that's the one thing I didn't see. It would be nice to be able to do that, because it gives me a no touch, hands off experience with the light, where I can be somewhere within the vicinity of the Bluetooth and be able to utilize the app to control this light and give me the different effects I want to get. As far as other things, when it comes to this light and the use of it, it does get firmware updates. Now, I will say I have not been able to do the firmware update that I see on this light online on their site, but what I was able to do with this light right now and all its features, it was fantastic. Again, I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to do with this so far. I'm pretty happy I said yes to the collaboration. You guys let me know from the video content that I put in here, samples of examples of my use. You know, what do you think? Do you think this would be a good creative tool for you? Now, they did give me a code that I can put in the descriptions, that you can use to get 10% off if you decide to go ahead and purchase this. Now, I don't have an affiliate set up with these guys. I wanted to see what this light was like first, and I do like it a lot for what it is providing me, and I was glad I was able to get a code that you guys can use if you decide to go that route. Now, in conclusion, I would say for me, the pros is everything I just said, from the size of the light, the fact that it has a fan, the fact that I barely heard the fan when it did come on, the fact that I haven't burnt out the battery yet. It's still on about 50% for me right now, for me using it for a couple of hours. The intensity matters of the light, that how much you're at will definitely matter when it comes to the battery. I like the accessories and how well they stay on, and I actually dropped this thing because, again, I'm clumsy, and nothing popped off. I mean, it was fantastic. I like the build quality. Yes, again, it's mostly plastic, but yeah, it's very sturdy from what I can tell. Things that I would want to see some improvements on is, one, it'd be nice to be able to utilize the FX effects with the app. It'd be nice to be able to do a firmware update. So again, I may have to reach out to Zhiyun. We're gonna say Zhiyun for me, right? Americans gotta love us. And see how I can download that updater tool without causing any issues on my Mac, and take advantage of the firmware updates. And other than that, it may come to a point where I may have to get another one of these to be able to give myself even more creative capabilities, because I have two light sources that give me a lot of features to utilize, and it's portable, it's compact, and the biggest thing for me is it didn't overheat. My Aperture NC, when I use those, man, those things are sizzling hot when I get to them and finally turn them off. So I'm trying to think of anything else in my experience with this thus far that I can let you guys know about. And so far, I think what I have is what I have. So yeah, I think it's a great creator tool. If you decide you want to add this to your creator tools as well, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Just keep in mind, again, if you're going to be using this for any length of time, I would look at a battery source for it, so that you don't have to worry about the shutdown times that are listed on the website. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you have something like this, if you use RGB portable pocketable lights, and what's been your experience. And I'll see you guys on the next video.